Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next game in the Strat-O-Matic Demolition League. It's been a month since we've played the final game or the last video on this, and that was in Series 13, Seattle at Arizona. And all the other games have now been played in Series 13, so we're through 39 games in the league for each team. And, of course, they're going to 54. So each team with 15 games remaining, which comes out to be 5 3-game series remaining. We are now at Series 14. And since I haven't played in a while or done a video in a while, I'm going to go ahead and pick 2 games from Series 14 to show. And this first one is going to come to us from Fenway Park in Boston. It'll be the Tampa Bay Rays taking on the Boston Red Sox. The rest of the Series 14 matchups and the second one on the video coming up in a couple days will be Cincinnati at Seattle. That'll be the other game I'm going to do a video for. The other ones are going to be offline: New York, San Francisco, Houston, Cleveland, and Philly, Arizona. Reason why I'm not doing these is because I'm trying to show some of the teams that are trying to push for the playoffs, not the top 4. Trying to pick some of those teams in the 5 through 9 region that are battling for playoffs, because once we get down to the last couple of series, I'm going to focus on the top 4. So rather than keep showing the same teams over and over and over, that's the reason why I decided to do that. All right, so we are at Series 14. There are your starting lineups for both teams, starting pitchers. And another thing, too, I started to notice when I went to the stats that a lot of the players are reaching their max usage, 1/3 of their total yearly stats. So I'm having to rest a lot of guys, both pitchers and hitters. So that's why some of the players you're not going to see that you would normally see in this ball game. So first of all, making his very first start of the season for the Red Sox is going to be left-hander Henry Owens. He made 11 starts in the regular season of 2015. He's going to make 4 in this one, or at least 3, maybe 4. We'll see. But again, this is game number 40. And so he may or may not get a chance to make all those starts. He's going to at least make 3. They're going to at least make 3. They might not be able to make 4 out of it. Another player for making his first start of the season is Matt Moore for Tampa Bay. He made 12 starts in 2015, so he will make 4 starts the rest of the way. So I do believe there's enough games left that Owens and Moore will both get their 4 starts. If not, certainly they can get 3 starts in, and that should be roughly about what they need. Close enough, pretty much. All right. Other players that are not available that normally would be, and right here in the Red Sox, you do not see Koji Urahara. He has maxed out his usage or getting close to it, so I want to give him a little bit of time off and bring him back for a potential playoff run if they make it. Right now they're in the running for the playoffs, so I want to make sure he doesn't, use up all his usage and not be available for the playoffs. So that's one player that's definitely missing. For Tampa Bay, one of the players that you would normally see that is missing again is Steven Souza. He had used up a lot of his playing time, so you're going to see a lot of guys that you're not used to seeing, namely Schaefer. He's getting his first action being called up. He's going to play the DH, and J.P. Arancibia is the catcher in this game, as they also have Rivera. They sent Casale down because his usage was getting higher as well. For the Red Sox, they brought up Alan Craig to play first base, and he's taken the place of Napoli, who got traded to Texas. So all the traded players are with their new teams now. So if they started with Boston or Tampa and went somewhere else, they are no longer with the team, because we're at that point of the season where they're going to be traded. And also, speaking of traded, the Red Sox acquired Gene Machie from the Giants, so he is on there as well in their bullpen. And they've also brought in left-hander Tommy Lane. It used to be, the left-handed combination was Breslow and now the other person's name I'm blowing at the moment, but it was Breslow and now I'm drawing up Ross. So Robbie Ross has used up his amounts, so We're going to let Tommy Lane have a shot at it. Same with Tampa Bay. Jake McGee has used up his innings pitched, so Enny Romero is going to be the new left-hander in the Rays bullpen. All right, enough of those prelims out of the way. Boston enters the game 23-16. Tampa Bay 19-20. We got our dice, red and white, and blue for the D20. And I think everything else is copacetic. I do have the advanced fielding charts and advanced strategy charts standing by. As far as injuries go, injury chances for the pitchers, if Matt Moore rolls a 6-8, he's susceptible to injury, and if Owens rolls a 6-12, he is susceptible for injury. So those are the two to keep track of. And I even brought out the defensive chart for both teams, Tampa and Boston. Now, a couple of guys aren't on here because I made this earlier on in the season, so the ones that are missing, I'll have to do those manually, but everything else I'll have it closer, so I won't have to write down the ratings on my little score sheet. I am using a Replay Baseball score sheet because I don't have anything else in front of me. So that's what I'm going to be using for this one. A lot of times I like to score on pen or regular notebook paper, but in this one, I just decided to go with that particular situation. All right, so let's move this a little bit more out of the way so we can get our dice tray in here for one thing. And I need to give a quick look and see and make sure everything's going to fit. You really don't need to see the score sheet, so that's almost irrelevant. It looks as though everything else seems to be okay. Let's give it a little flip this way so we can see more of the upper. And I think that will be all right. Since there's so many player changes, I'm not going to be using the player running stickers like I usually do, so I am using the generic ones for each team. Those are the Rays, and when somebody from Boston's aboard, we'll be using those. So I'm going to use those on Fenway Park. All right, so Henry Owens, like I said, 4-4 and 11 starts with a 4.57 ERA, so he will get the nod in this one to start Series 14. Red Sox trying to chase down front-running Cleveland, so they certainly can't afford to, or don't want to, miss a lot of games or lose a lot of games. Tampa Bay, on the other hand, is trying to catch those top four, so they are pretty much need to start winning, particularly against the teams they are chasing. So, or else they will find themselves on the outside looking in. All right, so I think we're pretty much set to go. Kevin Kiermaier will lead off for the Rays against Henry Owens. A lot of times I'll have the computer up when I'm playing this, but right now I'm going to play this all manually and put it in the computer later, so I don't have the stats or anything like that. After Series 14 is over, I will give a complete update with not only the standings, but also the league leaders. One thing to mention is that Todd Frazier is very close to a triple crown. He is leading in home runs and RBIs. I'm sorry, he's leading in average and RBI, and only trails Ortiz of Boston by 1 home run. Otherwise, he would have the triple crown right now. So, and he's trying to fight to keep Cincinnati in the playoff hunt. And of course, Cincinnati at Seattle is Game 2, which I will put on probably. Let's see. I'm going to record both of these Tuesday night, so I'll put up this game tomorrow, which will be Wednesday, and I'll put the other one up on Friday. And then sometime during the weekend, I will get back into the Buffalo Bees and do their game against Milwaukee. All right, so hopefully everything's up to speed. Kiermaier lefty on lefty against Owens. Remember, this is advanced only, so no ballpark effects, none of that stuff. 6-7, and Owens again is a 6-12, so no problem there. 6-7, a 1 is a single, 2-20. I'm sorry, 1's a double, 2-20 is a single, so I guess technically that is a problem. So Kiermaier with a 20 is going to single. So Kevin Kiermaier leads off with a base hit. Kevin Kiermaier. He's aboard. Kiermaier is a B stealer, which means he starts as a 13, -3 from being held makes him a 10. Then you throw in the catcher arm, Hannigan, which is a -1, makes it a 1-9, 45% chance. Kiermaier not going to go. He's going to stay right where he is. And that will bring up Logan Forsythe. 4-6, and against a right-hander, that is going to be a walk. So Forsythe will walk, and Owens, his debut is not going well whatsoever. First and second, nobody on for the dangerous Evan Longoria. First and second, nobody on, and Longoria the batter. Runners are being held. 1-9 for Longoria against the lefty. That is a strikeout. So big strikeout there for Owens for out number 1. And Longoria is retired. That's going to bring up the shortstop is Drupal Cabrera. 3-5 against the lefty. Struck him out. So Owens comes back, gets a break, gets 2 results off the batter's cards, and gets strikeouts. Now it'll be James Loney, lefty on lefty matchup. That's a 1-4, and that's a ground ball pitcher A, so it's going to go 1-3 ground out to end the inning, and Owens gets out of the mess. So nothing doing for the Rays in the first after they put 2 on, but they come away empty-handed. At the end of half an inning to play, it's Tampa nothing, Boston coming to bat. And leading the way for the Rays on the mound is going to be Matt Moore making his first start of the season. He was 3-4 with a 5.43 ERA in 12 starts. And he's going to see what he can do to try to keep Boston at bay. Leading off for the Red Sox will be center fielder Mookie You Bets. 3-7 for Betts. He's going to pop to short. That's 1 away. 1 down, and the new second baseman is going to be Jeff Rutledge. He is called up because Pedroia is overextended on his at-bat, so Pedroia is resting a bit. And Rutledge and Holt will hold down the second base spot, but with the lefty on the mound, Holt's on the bench, and Rutledge gets the start. 1-7 against the lefty, struck him out. 2 down, and that's going to bring up the shortstop, Xander Bogaerts. 1-6 for Bogaerts. That's trouble for Moore. 1-2 is a double. Anything else will be a single. That's a 15, so Xander Bogaerts with a 2-out single. He's aboard. But now, do they want to risk a steal? You got Ortiz coming up. Let's check the catcher arm. Catcher for Tampa is Arancibia, and JP Arancibia, his arm rating is a +2, so that could be beneficial. That might encourage him to go a little bit. He is a B stealer, is Bogaerts, which starts him as a 13. Being held makes him 10, as you take away 3. But then you add the 2 back from Arancibia as a 12. So 1-12, they're going to take that chance. 1-12, they're going to send him. And he's got thrown out. So despite the +2 arm from Arancibia, it didn't seem to help. And at the end of 1 complete from Fenway Park, it is still no score, and Ortiz will have to lead off the next inning. So Henry Owens back out. Start the second inning. He'll be facing the right fielder, Joey Butler, right-hander. He's in there for Souza, who's resting. 1-5, and that's a strikeout. So Owens gets the strikeout of Butler. That's his 3rd strikeout. All 3 have come off the batter's card, not anything off of his own card. Here's Grady Sizemore. He came over from Philadelphia a little while ago, and he's in the lineup for the Rays. Despite being lefty on lefty, 3-10, he's going to line it to third, and the Panda, Pablo Sandoval, makes the catch. 2 down. And that's going to bring up Richie Schaefer, his first at bat of the season. Richie Schaefer on the 2015 season, he had 74 at bats and hit a .189. Did have 4 home runs, and actually against righties, he got better home run power. Not quite as good against the lefties, although he does draw a lot of walks against lefties. We'll see what happens. Owens, 5'10". What's off Owens' card? 5'10's a catcher X. Catcher is Hannigan. And we'll look at Hannigan's rating. Hannigan's defensive rating is a 2 E3, but it's a 2. That's the main one we're looking for on the advanced chart is a 2. So we'll roll for that. 2 and a 3 for a catcher. A 2 and a 3 is simply a foul out. So that's going to do it. As Schaefer fouls out to Hannigan to end the inning. And we go to the bottom of the second, still no score from Fenway Park in Boston. And I tried to use Fenway Park with this bigger board to give a little ambiance of Fenway, but I'm feeling kind of crimped a little bit, so I may, in the next game with Seattle, I may just eschew that and just use the big board. That way I have more room, but it's kind of a work in progress. I kind of like to try to get the ballpark card in there if I can, just to kind of give you the feel that you're at Fenway, but it may or may not work. So here is Ortiz. He's leading the league in home runs with 12. But like I said, third baseman for Cincinnati, the Todd father, has 11. So right on his tail. Ortiz against Matt Moore, 6-2 against the lefty. He's a ground ball pitcher X. He is a 4. As a pitcher, he is a 4, and that is a 5. Pitcher, a 4 and a 5 is going to go to error check. His error rating is E23. And that's a 5. E23 and a 5 is a 1 base error. E23 and a 5, a 3 to 7 right there is a E1. So 1 base error, and Ortiz is going to reach to start the bottom of the second. He will not be held, as does not run well at all, but he's aboard on an E1. E1, and now we're looking at Hanley Ramirez. Hanley Ramirez. 3-9, and that is a ballpark diamond shot if we were doing super advanced, but in advanced it's simply a fly to left, and there's one away. And I do like super advanced better, but I started this project in advanced because that's the way Tenacious Earl played his, and I was trying to pattern it, so I'm going to stick with it until it's over, and if I do another project I may do super advanced, I don't know. Here's the Panda. 5-9, and he struck him out. So Matt Moore coming back gets 2 outs after making his error, and it's going to turn it over to Alan Craig, his first time for the Red Sox this season. He had 79 at bats, hit a robust 152, but he does have a good column 3 against lefties, so he did well against lefties. That's what they're hoping for. But he found the column 2, which is a 2-4, struck him out. So Alan Craig is out of there. Innings over. Nothing doing for the Sox. We go to the third. No score from Fenway. And you would have thought there'd be more offense with these newer pitchers in the game that don't have the best ERAs, but they're also facing some of the bench players too. So maybe they balance out. We'll see. Here's J.P. Arancibia, and we look at his numbers. For Tampa Bay, he had 71 at-bats on the season, hit .310 with 6 home runs, so definitely a upgrade to their catchers, Casale particularly, who doesn't hit well at all, and he's got a loaded column 3 against lefties, so Arancibia looking to do damage against Owens. But he found column 1, which is still going to be a single. 1-2 is a single for Arancibia. Now, he doesn't run well at all, so he will not be held, but he does get the leadoff single. And that's going to flip the order over to Kiermaier, center fielder. He will step to the plate, see what he can do against the lefty Owens. 5-4, and that is, he just missed a home run chance. 5-4 is a fly to right. 1 away. And it's going to send up Logan Forsythe. Forsythe walked his first chance. 2-6 against the lefty. 1-3 is a single. Anything else, he lines to the Panda, 4-20. That's a 20, so he lines to the Panda for out number 2. So after the leadoff single by Arancibia, we have a fly to right and a line out to third. All of a sudden, 2 are out, and Evan Longoria, the batter, struck out his first chance. We got a 3-8, and you won't strike out this time. 3-8 is a 1-16 home run. So 1-16, we got a 2-run dinger, and the Rays will lead it 2-0. It is gone. Kaboom. Evan Longoria. A 2-run bomb for Longoria. He's no stranger to home runs. In the 15 season, he hit 21 of them. So Evan Longoria just put Tampa Bay ahead 2-0 with a blast over the Green Monster. And Tampa Bay takes a 2-0 lead on the Red Sox here in the top of the third. 2 down bases are cleared now for Asdrubal Cabrera. 1-8 for Cabrera. All those hits in column 1, he found a ground ball to third, and the Panda will take care of it to end the inning. But the Rays get the 2 runs, and they take a 2-0 lead into the bottom of the third. Turn that over to Matt Moore. See if Matt Moore can hold it. He'll be starting to face the bottom portion of the order. Hannigan, Castillo, and Betts for the Red Sox. 1-11, it's a ground ball to third, and Longoria will make the play. So he does it on offense and does it on defense. Here's Rusney Castillo. 4-8 for Castillo is a solid single against Matt Moore. So Rusney Castillo, a 1-out single. He is a D stealer. He will not be held. And we flip the order over now to Mookie Betts. Betts, the first time up. Popped to short. 5-3, and that is a fly ball left field X. Left fielder for Tampa Bay is Grady Sizemore. Grady Sizemore. Sizemore in left field checks in as a 3. 3 and a 10 is going to go to his error check. 3 and a 10 will go to his error check, and his error rating for Sizemore is an E11. So we roll in the E11 chart. That's a 5. E11 and a 5. E11 and a 5 is a 2-base error on Grady Sizemore. That'll put runners at second and third. And back come the Red Sox. E7 on Grady Sizemore. Second error of the game for Tampa. Castillo will take third. And with 1 out, runners are at second and third. They will have to hold Mookie Betts on at second base because he does run well. And that'll bring up Rutledge. Second baseman. Infield for the Rays is going to play back. They got a 2-run lead. They're just trying to prevent a big inning. 1-9, and don't worry about how they're playing. That's a base hit, single to left field. Single to left field. We'll check Sizemore's arm. Sizemore in left field. He already made the error. His arm is a +1. Mookie Betts runs at a 16. He was being held, makes him a 15, but the +1 brings it back to a 16. 1-16, he will score. Whoops. And he does. So 2-run single has just tied the game. Josh Rutledge, a 2-run single. And just like that, we are all tied up at 2. One of those runs is unearned. For sure, maybe both, depending on how the inning works out. But for sure, one of them is. Tie ball game at 2 apiece. And that brings up Xander Bogaerts. Rutledge, no threat to steal. He will stay put. Moore, 6'8" is his injury, but that's a 6'9", and it will be a walk. So he's not injured, but he's a little shaken. Maybe not stirred, but he's shaken. And Bogaerts will reach on the walk. And that brings up Big Papi. Big Papi. 2 on, 1 out. Score tied at 2 here in the third inning. Moore has to settle in. 4-7, and he may not do that. 1-15 is a single 1 star to load the bases. And he does. It's a single that loads the bases. Bases are loaded. Bases are loaded with only 1 out, and Hanley Ramirez the batter. Infield looking for the double play, so they are playing back to turn 2 against Ramirez. He's got several A's on his card, so good chance of a potential double play there. But it's off Moore, 6-8, and that's his injury check. 6-8 is his injury check. He will walk in a run, so that will force in a run, and the Red Sox now lead it 3-2. 3-2 Sox, as he walks Ramirez to force in a run. And now let's check his injury. We go to the injury chart and see what we roll. Let's see if he's going to miss any time or how much time. Matt Moore, we look at his numbers in relation to injury for pitchers. His innings pitched, 63, so we're right there at 60, so his max injury can be 6 games. But we'll roll it off the injury chart and see what happens. It's a 14, so that says 11, but there is an asterisk there, which means the max injury he can have is 6 games. So Matt Moore will have to leave the ball game as he is injured. Ramirez draws the bases loaded walk. Puts the Red Sox ahead 3-2. The Panda, Pablo Sandoval, is due up with only 1 out and the bases still loaded. And the Rays have to go to their bullpen. The reliever will get as much time as he needs to warm up due to the injury. Question is who they want to bring in. Now, Sandoval not nearly as good against lefties as he is against righties, so they really want to bring in a lefty, I do believe. And they're going to bring in their new pitcher, newest guy, Enny Romero. He's going to be the one coming on. Enny Romero, the lefty. It's going to force Pablo to bat right-handed. He was 0-2 with a 5.10 ERA. No saves, but he's in there now to try to keep things where they are. Infield looking to turn 2 once again. Actually, Sandoval doesn't have a whole lot of A's. They're going to play. You know what? They're going to play in. His only chance to get one through the infield is roll 2-7. Anything else, they're safe on that. So they're playing the infield in to cut the run off. Now watch him roll a 2-7 just to spite myself. Nope, it's a 3-9 against a left-hander, and it is a ground ball shortstop A. So with the infield in, it will not be a double play. So let's go and look at what that entails. Shortstop A, and I do use, even though it's super advanced technically, I do like to use this chart. So the infield in, the ground ball A, with the bases loaded, we get a 9. 9 says batter out, runner on third out, double. Oh, it is a double play. How about that? It is a double play. Batter out, runner on third is out, so it's going to go to home and then to first. So it's going to go, technically it's going to go 6-2-3 for a double play. 6-2-3 double play. And boy, Enny Romero throws one pitch and gets his team out of the inning like Houdini, and that's going to do it. Red Sox a little frustrated there. Pablo Sandoval, the Panda, a little frustrated, but he's a slow runner, so he's very easy to double up, and they just did it. So we go to the fourth, 3-2 Boston, and Tampa Bay remains in the ball game. They did not. That was a game or an inning they could have gotten blown away, but they stay in it, keep themselves in it. 3-2 the score. And lead things off for the Rays will be James Loney, lefty on lefty against Mr. Henry Owens. 3-5 for Loney, and he's going to ground to short, 1 away. Xander Bogaerts is there. 1 down for Joey Butler, right fielder. 6-8 for Owens, and again his injury check is a 6-12, so he's fine on that. 6-8 is a fly to right. Put away out there by Castillo, 2 down. And that'll bring up Grady Sizemore. Sizemore, the batter, against Henry Owens. 2-8, and he's going to pop it to short. Bogaerts is there. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Owens. And he's settled down since that rough 4th inning. He's right back in the dugout and puts the Rays back on their heels, back in the field again. Enny Romero didn't get much rest. He's got to come right back out and deal with Allen, Craig, Hannigan, and Castillo, bottom of the order for the Red Sox. 3-2, bottom of the fourth. Here's Allen Craig. He struck out his first chance, but that was against Matt Moore. 6-4, and that's a catcher X. Catcher is Aaron Sebia. That roll is a 16, which means we're going to go, let's see, 16 and Aaron Sebia. Let's check his, he's a 4. So catcher, 4 and a 16 is a pass ball and a pop out. There's no pass ball because nobody's on base, but he does pop out. And that's one away. Some people play it that you don't count. If there's nobody on base, it's not anything. There's not a pop out because there's no pass ball, but I don't count it that way. I count it as a pop out. Just means there's nobody on, means there's no pass ball, but there's still going to be a pop out. But like I said, people play it different ways. Here's Hannigan. 2-5 for Hannigan. It's going to strike him out. So Hannigan's out of there. 2 down for Rusney Castillo. Castillo, the batter, with 2 outs and the base is empty. So Romero doing quite well for himself in his debut. 6-3, and again, that's a single. 6-4 is what he had last time. That's a 6-3, and Rusney Castillo gets a 2-out single. He's a D stealer, so he will not go anywhere, but he is 2 for 2 from the number 9 position. And that flips the order over to Mookie Betts. Mookie, you bets. See what Betts can do. He's popped to short, reached on a 2-base error by Sizemore and scored. Romero, 4-8. That's a 1-9 single. Anything else? And it's a ground ball to second base that Forsythe handles, and the inning's over. That's a 10, so Forsythe gets to it, throws to first, and the inning is over. Betts retired. So are the Red Sox in the 4th. So we go to the 5th. Still 3-2 Boston. Still anybody's game. That's probably all for Enny Romero. He's more of a short reliever, so to get an inning and 2/3 out of him is, I would say, pretty good. Now, he only faced 5 batters, but still, that's pretty doggone good. So, top of the 5th, and it's going to be Richie Schaefer, the designated hitter. He fouled out to the catcher Hannigan his first trip. 3-2 Boston, top of the 5th from Fenway. 110, and that's a home run on a 1-15. Richie Schaefer can tie this game one swing of the bat. And he does not. It's a 17, so it's going to settle for a double. Richie Schaefer nailed it, but not high enough to get over the green monster. It hits off the top, and by the time it's fielded out there by Ramirez, it's a leadoff double for Schaefer. So the tying run is aboard with nobody out. Schaefer does not run well. He's an E runner or E stealer, and he runs an 11, so he will not be held. And P. Arancibia steps to the plate. 6-7 off of Owens is a 1-18 single. It's only one start, so the run will not score. 19-20, and Pablo Sandoval will be able to snag it. That is a 2. Almost went to a 20. That's a 2. It's a base hit. So runners are at the corners. Arancibia 2 for 2. And with nobody out, the Rays have runners at the corners and the top of the order coming up. Kevin Kiermaier, he's 1 for 2. He's singled in the first, flew to right in the third. Infield for the Red Sox. They're going to play for the double play. They need outs. They'll give up the run to get the outs. Nobody's being held on. Owens to Kiermaier, 1-7. That's a 1-18 single. 19-20, he lines it to the first baseman, Craig. That's a 4. It's going to get through for a base hit. The run will score. It's only a 1-base advancement, but we do have a tie game. It is now 3-3 on the base hit by Kiermaier. Schaefer will score. Arancibia will stop at second. Brand new ball game, and actually the Rays are threatening to take the lead. And the Red Sox have bullpen activity, as this was the fatigue inning for Owens, so he's actually tired. The 5th inning is his fatigue inning. He just gave up 3 consecutive hits. He is now tired. So let's see how they want to play this. They're going to bring in, I believe, Matt Barnes. So Matt Barnes will be coming on, and that's going to be it for Henry Owens. He can't win it, but he could lose it. So he's depending on his bullpen, Matt Barnes, the right-hander. This will be a big rescue if he can get out of this mess. So Forsythe, the batter. Aaron Seavey at second. Kiermaier at first. Nobody's being held on. Nobody out. 1 run in. Looking for the double play are the Red Sox. 5-7, and that's a single 2 stars, and that will give the Rays the lead. That run is charged to Owens, and the Rays take a 4-3 lead with Kiermaier chugging over to third base. Rays now lead it 4-3. Longoria, your batter. Forsythe, the runner at first. Let's see if he's going to be held. He's a C stealer, so they're going to have to hold him on. Still looking to turn 2 on the double play. 3-9, but they might get a double, not a double play. 3-9, 1-14 is a double for Longoria. It is. It's a double 2 stars, so the run will not score from first, but the run from third certainly does. As Kiermaier trots across the plate, Forsythe will stop at third base, and 5 consecutive hits by the Rays to start the inning, and they now lead it by the score of 5-3, and they're looking for more with nobody out. Here's Cabrera. The infield for the Red Sox has now come in. Barnes, 4-7 against the switch hitter batting left, is a strikeout. Huge strikeout for Barnes. And that will bring up James Loney. Again, the infield remains in. 5-7 against the lefty. That's a walk. That's not the worst thing in the world because now you set up the double play if you're the Red Sox. Bases are loaded with 1 out, and Joey Butler, the batter. Butler, is he a good double play candidate is the question. Not really. He's got an A here and an A here, but not much anywhere, an A up there, but they're not in very good numbers. So they're actually going to play the infield in because Butler is not much of a threat to hit into a double play. So they're playing the infield in to choke the runoff. 5-7, doesn't matter. That's a single 2 stars, and 2 more runs cross the plate. And Matt Barnes not the answer either. He's going to have to come out of the ball game because he can't get out of the inning. Loney will take third. And the Rays now have put 5 runs on the board, lead it 7-3. That's it for Matt Barnes. He will leave. Grady Sizemore is your scheduled hitter, so the Red Sox will bring in Tommy Lane, a lefty. Lane was 2-1 with a 3.97 ERA and 1 save for the Red Sox. But they're in deep trouble. It is now 8-3, and the Rays still batting. Runners on the corners, only 1 out. Sizemore, the 9th man to bat in the inning, so barring a double play, they will bat around. Let's see what they want to do against the lefty. They're going to play for the double play. They're going to play back for the double play. Lane, 3-8. 3-8, ground ball shortstop A. They get the double play they were looking for, 6-4 or 4-6-3, and that's going to end the inning. So a 4-6-3 double play keeps it from being worse than what it was. But as it is, the Rays put up 5 here in the 5th and take a 7-3 lead. And new pitcher coming in for the Rays as Romero went his as far as he could go, or as far as they were comfortable bringing him. And the Rays will bring on long reliever Matt Andriese. Andriese is on. In the 15 season, he was 3-5, 4.11 ERA, 8 starts, 2 saves. So he does have that long relief rating of 3. So he can eat some innings. Let's just put it that way. And he's got a chance to get himself a win if he can do so. I mean, he's got a 4-run lead to work with. And he'll be facing second baseman Josh Rutledge to start off. It'd be Rutledge, Bogarts, and Ortiz to start the bottom of the 5th in this 7-3 ball game. Typical Fenway ball game with all these runs, even though we're not using ballpark effects. Andriese, 3-6 to Rutledge, struck him out, 1 down. So Rutledge out on strikes. Brings up Xander Bogarts. He is singled and walked. 1-5. He'll do more than that. 1-2 is a triple. Anything else is a double. That is going to be a double for Xander Bogarts as he tries to get the Red Sox offense in gear. The 1-out double. And brings up Big Papi. Bogarts will be held at second base as he runs pretty well. So Big Papi against Andriese. 3-8. And it's a ground ball pitcher A. That will freeze the runner, and they will just throw over to first. Bogarts has to stay put, 2 down. And it's going to bring up Hanley Ramirez. Last chance for the Sox to take advantage of that double. Andriese, 2-3, and it's a hit by pitch, so Ramirez gets plunked. And that'll put 2 on with 2 out. For the Panda, Pablo Sandoval. So chance for the Panda. He has had a rough game of it. He struck out and hit into a double play. So if he wants to atone, here's the chance right here. The Panda, Pablo Sandoval, with a chance against Andriese. 1-7 against a righty. Struck him out. 1-8. That would have gotten through for a hit because they were holding the runner. But a 1-7 is going to be a strikeout. So Panda, again, continuing to have a rough night. And that's going to end the inning. 7-3 your score as we've completed 5 here at Fenway. Red Sox leave 2 on. And now they will also get a new pitcher, I believe, coming in for them as well. As Lane is done. So Red Sox going to the bullpen again, this time for Alexi Agando. So Alexi Agando will be on for the Red Sox to see what he can do. He is pitcher number 4. Andriese for the Rays and pitcher number 3. So, Schaefer, who has started the whole mess the last inning with the leadoff double. He'll be back in there, but now he's got to face a righty. But again, column 1 for him is very, very good for home runs. But he found column 3, 3-6 is a strikeout. 1 down for J.P. Arancibia, who was 2 for 2 in that number 9 position. First game, I think it's the first game of the season he's had for the Rays, pretty sure. 1-8, and he's going to strike out. So this time he does not get it done. 2 down. 2 up and 2 down. Back-to-back strikeouts, as a matter of fact. 2 up and 2 down, and that's going to bring up the top of the order in Kiermaier against Agando. 1-11 is a ground ball right back to Agando to end the inning. And Alexi Agando brings a little bit of stability to the Red Sox pitching. But the question is it too little too late? We go to the bottom of the 6th. Score remains 7-3. Andriese back out for his second inning of work. He'll be facing Craig, Hannigan, and Castillo. Remembering that they do have lefties on the bench if they want to go to them this early. And they might. In fact, they're going to pull Alan Craig back. And they're going to use Travis Shaw. So Travis Shaw will hit for Craig and stay in the game to play first base. So Travis Shaw will be the new first baseman. Since Tampa Bay has already used one of their lefties, there's only not much chance they're going to use another lefty. So Travis Shaw will make his way in and pinch hit for Alan Craig. Craig was 0 for 2 Struck out and popped to the catcher, so not much going for him. So they're going to try Travis Shaw, see what he can do against Andriese. It's a 3-7, and he just missed a home run. 3-8 would have been a homer. 3-7, he struck out. So he's going for the homer. He just didn't get it. One down for Ryan Hannigan, catcher. Only other catcher they have is Sandy Leone, so they're not going to use him yet. They need to keep him in case of an injury. So here's Hannigan, who is 0 for 2. 3-5. He's not 0 for 2 anymore. 1-4 is a double. Anything else is a single. That's a base hit for Ryan Hannigan. A 1-out single. And that's going to take it to the bottom of the order for Rusney Castillo. So Castillo is aboard, or at the plate rather. And Castillo is 2 for 2 with a run scored against Andriese. 1-5, and that's going to be a ground ball second base C. That will get the runner to second base. So Hannigan will get second base. It's going to go 3-1 on the putout. As Loney flips to Andriese covering. 2 down, and now we flip the order over to Mookie Betts. Boston needs to make some hay when they got runners in scoring position. Betts is 0 for 3. He did reach on an error and score, but he is 0 for 3. And, of course, Hannigan not being held on second. Oh, that's Suadice. We'll try that again. 5-8, and that's a ground ball second base X. That is Forsythe. And since I got his card top of the list, since he leads off next inning, we'll look at his defense. He is a 2. So 2 for Forsythe. 10 means we're going to an error check. Look at his error rating. He is an E10. Second base E10. And we get a 3. Interesting. E10 and a 3. And that is a one-base error on Logan Forsythe. So error number 3 on Tampa Bay. So they're hitting the ball very well, but they're not fielding it all that well. And second time Betts has reached on an error. So he reaches on an error. That will move Hannigan to third. So runners are at the corners with 2 outs. And Josh Rutledge, the batter. Now, with the righty on the mound, they may go off and take Rutledge out of the game, and they will. And they're going to use Brock Holt. Brock Holt will be the new second baseman. Now the righty is in. So Rutledge will get the rest of the game off, and Brock Holt in a big spot. Chance to get a base hit and drive home a run. Pull his team closer. Brock Holt, he'll stay in the game to play second base after this. But they're hoping he can provide a spark. Betts will be held on first. The question is, does he try to steal second and get in scoring position? Because then a single would produce 2 runs. He is an A stealer, which starts him as a 15. -2 from Hill is a 13. But Aaron Sebe is a +2, brings it to a 15. It'd be a 1-15. They are down 7-3. You'd be taking a big-time chance to steal a base. And you brought in the pinch hitter, so as tempting as it is, I think they're going to let Brock Holt swing away because he's got to get the hit anyway or nothing's going to matter. So they have to have Holt get the hit, but Betts is being held on. Maybe that opens up a hole somewhere. 2-9. No, you don't need a hole. 1-10 is a triple. Anything else will be a single 2 stars. That is a triple for Brock Holt, a pinch hit triple. And boy, they glad now they didn't send the runner. Take a chance of getting thrown out. Brock Holt, a pinch hit triple. Pinch hit 2-run triple. And the Red Sox have cut the lead to 7-5. And those runs are unearned on a big error by Forsythe. 7-5, the ball game score now, and the tying runs at the plate in Xander Bogaerts. Andriese has to settle in. 4-8, and that's not settling in. 1-4 is a triple. Anything else will be a single. That's going to be a base hit for Bogaerts. Another run is in. 3 runs are in for the Sox. It is now a 7-6 ball game here at Fenway. Typical. That's a messy score thing, isn't it? Should have had my whiteout with me, and I don't have it. 6 and I shouldn't write these numbers in there either, should I? All right. 7-6 is your score. Bogaerts is a B stealer, which means it'd be a 1-10, but then the +2 from Hannigan would be a 1-12. They'll take that chance. 1-12. And it's a 1, so he will steal second. Is it a throwing error? Could they make their 4th error of the game? Aaron Sevia's error rating is a... his T rating actually is a T7. It's a 20, so not going to be a throwing error, but it is going to be a stolen base for Bogaerts. And the tying run now in scoring position for Ortiz, although all that's done, unfortunately for the Red Sox, is they will give the 4 fingers to Ortiz. It's not the 4 horsemen, but it is an intentional walk. They don't want any part of Ortiz with the runner in scoring position. So they will walk him, and it'll be up to Hanley Ramirez. 6-6, and that's a strikeout. He's not tired yet. That is a strikeout to end the inning. But 3 runs come in. It's a 7-6 ball game. Brand new ball game, practically. That's it. Going to be it for Andriese. His day is done. He ate a couple innings for him, but the defense let him down. Another big error. 7-6 your score as we go to the 7th inning. We need a new pitcher for Tampa, but we will not need a new pitcher for Boston. Agondo came in last inning and went 1-2-3, so he's certainly good for another inning. Logan Forsythe is your batter. And I haven't checked this in a while, so let me make sure nothing's weird going on. Looks like everything's okay, best I can tell. Looks a little cloudy or blurry. I don't know why, but we'll see how it turns out. Could be this thing here is messing me up. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll play it out, see how it turns out. Here's Forsythe. 1-4 for Forsythe is a ground ball to third. Panda is there, 1 down. And it's going to bring up Evan Longoria, third baseman. Longoria. 5-8, and that's a strikeout. He's not tired yet, so strikeout is good by Agondo. He's going to give him, looks like 2 shutout innings potentially to keep them in the game. Here's Cabrera. And new pitcher for the Rays is going to be Brandon Gomes in the bottom of the inning. 3-10 for Cabrera against a righty. Struck him out. That's going to end the inning. So Agondo goes 6 up and 6 down. Does very well for himself. That's going to be it for Agondo as well. But he goes 6 up and 6 down. Kept his team in the game, and they've got a good chance to come back. They trail at 7-6 here in Fenway. As we go to the bottom of the 7th, new pitcher coming in, Brandon Gomes for the Rays, and we'll be right back. All right, everybody. 7th inning stretch is in the books. And we have Brandon Gomes as your new pitcher for the Rays. He is on. 4th pitcher used by Tampa to match the 4 used by Boston. And he'll be facing Sandoval, Shaw, and Hannigan. Switch left and a right. Due up here in the bottom of the 7th of a 7-6 ball game. Obviously messy score sheet, but there is a 3 there and a 3 there. So 7-6 ball game. 1-9 for Sandoval against a right-hander. He's going to pop it to short. 1 away, and that brings up Travis Shaw. Shaw struck out when he pinch hit for Craig in the previous inning, so now he gets another chance. This time against Gomes. 6-11. Now we got to check Gomes for possible injury because I believe 6-11 may be his injury check. Need to get my little sheet that talks about the injuries. Here it is. And let's see here for Mr. Gomes of Tampa Bay. He is susceptible to injury on a 6-12, and that's a 6-11. So he just eked that out, so no injury check, but we will check 6-11 against the lefty. That's a ground ball pitcher X. He is a 4. 4 and a 5 is going to go to an error check. And of course he's an E0, so there's no problem there. It's out number 2. So not only did he avoid the injury, he also avoided an error. 2 up and 2 down for Ryan Hannigan. Six, 8, and that's a pop out to third. Longoria puts it away. 1-2-3 inning for Brandon Gomes. And we're going to go to the top of the 8th. New pitcher for Boston we will have to bring in. And that new pitcher is going to be Greg Breslow, their other lefty. He will be coming on to face Loney, the top of the, or Loney, Butler, and Sizemore, 2 lefties. So they're going to a lefty out of the pen, Mr. Breslow, the left-hander. Gomes for Tampa Bay. Since he went 1-2-3 inning, he certainly is eligible to come back and pitch the bottom of the 8th as well, depending on what the score is, I guess. It'll be Loney that leads it off against Breslow. 5th pitcher used by Boston. 7-6 Tampa Bay. Top of the 8th here from Fenway. Loney the batter, lefty on lefty. 4-10, and that's going to be a fly ball to right field, 1 away. Put away by Castillo, 1 down, and that's going to send it to Joey Butler. 1-9, and that's a strikeout. 1-10 would have been a home run check, but 1-9 is a strikeout. So 2 up and 2 down, and that brings up Sizemore, the lefty. I'm sorry, they got Schaefer here. I got them out of order. Should have been Sizemore, not Schaefer. Got them out of order here. Don't know what to do with Sizemore. I must have put him in the wrong pile. Let me get Sizemore out of here. Don't know where he went. Where did Grady Sizemore go? Pause the video so I can find the Sizemore card. He kind of got away from me. Okay, we found his card finally. 2-12 was the roll against lefty. It's a low max, and that's going to end the inning. So Sizemore was trying to hide on me, but it didn't matter. Breslow got the job done. Sizemore lines out to Holt at second to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and we're still looking at a 7-6 ball game favor the Rays. And Brandon Gomes is going to come back out. He's going to try to bridge the gap to Boxberger, the closer, if possible. It's going to be the bottom of the order Castillo, and then the top of the order Betts and Holt. Marrero and Leone, the only 2 on the bench, so pretty much for Boston, it's the guys they have in here are the best they have. Gomes, 2-5 to Castillo, struck him out, 1 down. So Castillo is gone, top of the order. This is the way, or the part where the Red Sox need to make hay with that top of the order. Seemed like something blinked on me. Maybe it's my eyes, maybe it was the light. I don't know, but I thought I saw a blink there. Maybe it didn't. Here's Mookie Betts. 2-3 for Mookie Betts, and that's a ground ball first base C, which means it's a 3-1 ground out, as Loney will flip to Gomes covering for out number 2. Gomes has faced 5 batters, has retired all 5, and now here's Brock Holt. 4-2 against the lefty. It's a fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. 6 up and 6 down for Gomes. He got the job done. And they will turn this over now to Brad Boxberger to try to close it in the 9th. But they also still have a chance to add to that lead. Breslow is scheduled to come back out to face Schaefer, Arancibia, and Kiermaier. Schaefer had a near home run back in the 5th, but they're going to leave Breslow out there. So it'll be Schaefer, Arancibia, and Breslow. Breslow went 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 8th, so they have confidence he could do the same in the 9th. 6-8 and Breslow. Let's check his injury check to make sure. I don't think 6-8 would be his injury, but I don't want to miss it just in case it is. Breslow of Boston. He's a 1, be a 6-12, so definitely not an injury. 6-8 against the righty. He's a ground ball second base X. That's Brock Holt, the new second baseman. And the error check on Brock Holt. I will revert to my little cheat sheet. For Boston, at second base, Brock Holt is a 3 with an E13. But 3 is the operative number. 3-20, it's good play. So, nice play there by Brock Holt. 1 down. And it's going to bring up J.P. Arancibia. He's actually 2 for 3. 111, and that's a single for Arancibia. He is now 3 for 4 from that number 9 hole. He is 3 for 4. Now, they are actually going to pull Arancibia for a pinch runner and a better defender in the bottom of the 9th. So, because Rivera is a much better defensive catcher. So Rivera will catch in the 9th. But the pinch runner is going to be DeJesus. So DeJesus will do the pinch running for Arancibia. And if we look at DeJesus, he runs at a 12, which is the best they have on the bench. Actually, Franklin runs at a 14, but he doesn't steal as well as Mr. DeJesus does. So they'll have to hold DeJesus on. They wouldn't have to hold on Franklin. So they want the runner held to be able to keep that first base line open. So Rivera will come in to catch in the bottom of the 9th. But it is actually DeJesus on first base with 1 out. Top of the order, and Kevin Kiermaier. Of course, they are holding on to DeJesus because he's a C stealer. They have to hold him on. 6-3, lefty on lefty. That is a fly ball left field X. That could be trouble because that's Hanley Ramirez, and he's not known for his defense. Hanley Ramirez checks in as a left field 5. Obviously, the worst you have, maybe they can get an error check out of it. Not with that. A 5 and a 1 for an outfielder. A 5 and a 1 is a triple. So how about that? Kevin Kiermaier just triples into left center as Hanley Ramirez misplays it off the wall. It'll be an RBI triple for Kevin Kiermaier. And the Rays now lead it 8-6 as they get a huge insurance run. Forsythe is your batter, but Breslow will be coming out, and they will bring a right-hander into the ball game, and that right-hander will be Ed Mojica. Mojica will come on to try to keep it from getting any worse, and the infield is in now for the Red Sox. Mojica, number 6 pitcher used by Boston, but he will come in to face the right-hander Forsythe. Runner at third and 1 out. The infield's going to have to play in. They can't afford to give up any more runs. So Mojica needs a strikeout in the worst way. 2-11, and he gets a ground ball first base C, but with the infield in, let's see how that plays. Let's look at the chart, base running chart that I use for this. Infield is in. It's a ground ball C with runner at third. That's a 1 on a ground ball C. 1. Batter holds, runner is out. So had they not had the infield in, that would have scored the run, but instead it's going to be a ground out. And since the infield was in, it's just going to be a 3 unassisted. Because if you got time to flip to the pitcher, then the guy on third could have scored. So we're not going to do the 3-1 thing. It's just going to be a very simple 3 unassisted. 2 down for Longoria. So Mojica not out of the woodwork yet, but the infield is now back. 6-10. Let me make sure that's not an injury for Mojica. So we're getting these 6 rolls all of a sudden. So Mojica, his injury chance for Ed Mojica His injury chance. Why is he not coming up on the injury chart? Ed Mujica. I don't see him for some reason. Mujica. I don't know why I don't see him. He should be on here. Let me check here. Mujica. Oh, he's a 3, which means it's 6'10", and that's what we got. So it's an injury check on Mujica, but we'll finish the at-bat before we do the injury. 6'10" is a fly ball center field to end the inning, but we do need to check Mujica to see if he's going to be injured. So we bring out the injury roll for the pitcher and see what we get. We get a 10, so he's going to be out 5 games. So Ed Mujica is going to be out 5 games, which means they'll have to dip into their reserves for another reliever. And Mujica is going to be gone for a while. It may not affect this game because unless it goes extra innings, they won't need another pitcher, but it will affect them the rest of the series, so they will need a fresh arm from the minors to take Mujica's place. Rays aren't worried about that. They are just going to the bottom of the ninth with a 2-run lead and turning it over to their closer, Brad Boxberger. It was 4-10, 3.71 ERA, and 41 saves on the season. So Brad Boxberger is the new pitcher for the Tampa Bay Rays as they lead it 8-6 here in the bottom of the ninth. But he does have to get through the heart of the order. Bogarts, Ortiz, and Ramirez, heart of the order for the Red Sox. So Boxberger facing Bogarts. And Bogarts is 3 for 3. 2 singles, a double, and a walk. 2-3. This time he's going to foul out to Longoria for out number 1. So 1 down. And the Rays can get to 500 even. 20-20 with the win would drop Boston to 23-17. So, like I said, this is Tampa Bay. It has to make a run in order to get back in the playoff hunt. Boxberger to Ortiz, 2-7. That's a 1-8 home run. 9-20 is going to be a double. That's gone. Ortiz just hit his 13th home run. He increases that lead over the Todd father. He now has 13 home runs. So he may keep the Todd father from winning the Triple Crown all by himself. But now we got a 1-run game. It is 8-7. And Ramirez is your batter with 1 out. Boxberger a little shook up. 2-12, and that's a walk. So Ramirez now the tying run. He will be held. He's a C, so they will have to hold him on. And the Panda is your batter. Boxberger trying to shake it off. Panda is a double play candidate, so they're definitely playing for the double play. He hit into a big double play earlier in the game. Actually, yeah, in the 3rd inning when they scored 3 runs. It could have been a lot worse, but he hit into the double play. Boxberger 6-5, and that's an in-home run chance, 1-16. Sandoval is an in power. This could be a walk-off home run for Pablo Sandoval on a 1-16. It is gone. The Panda hits a 2-run homer. And just like that, 3 runs in the 9th off the closer, Boxberger. And the Boston Red Sox walk it off here in Fenway 9-8. And a crushing blow to the playoff chances of Tampa Bay. They drop to 19-21. Boston will improve to 24-16. Winning pitcher is Ed Mujica. Even though he got hurt in the game, he is the winning pitcher, and the losing pitcher is Boxberger. But a 2-run walk-off home run by the Panda. And the Red Sox are greeting Panda at the plate. And Mr. Boxberger is just walking off dejected. Rays thought they had it, but Panda had other ideas. A walk-off 2-run home run, second home run given up by Boxberger in the 9th. Red Sox do it at home. That Fenway Magic, 9th inning Magic came through. They win it by the score of 9-8. So that's going to do it from here. The first game of Series 14. This should post, like I said, on Wednesday, November the 2nd. And then hopefully by Friday, November the 4th, the second game of Series 14, Cincinnati at Seattle, will post. We'll see how my recording schedule will go on that. We'll see. But good to get back to Strat-O-Matic. I missed Strat-O-Matic. I did enjoy the other games I was playing in the 86 replay, but I was watching some Strat-O-Matic videos and kind of got the itch. I said, I got to get back to this Demolition League and get this thing rolling and get back to my Strat. So good game to get back to. That's back and forth. Apologize for the shoddy score line there, but should have had my whiteout with me, and I didn't, unfortunately. I always forget something. But that's going to do it from here. Until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I'll see you all down the road.